evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends, the cut-down day version of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends today. Guys, James Rapien is going to be hopping on here with us a little bit. This guy's been going nonstop all day with cuts and updates. What a great follow and what a great job he's been doing all day today, getting everything taken care of for us. So, guys, what's your thoughts today, man? There's just a lot of stuff going on today in Bengals land.
Definitely was. Not a whole lot of surprises, but a few. Michael Jordan did get cut. Of course, he gave up the hit to Joe Burrow last year that gave him that injury, but he made a big comeback. They said he was making a lot of strides, and I know that the initial depth charts that had come out had Michael Jordan as the starting left guard, so that was a pretty big shock, I guess. And then Thaddeus Moss, a fan favorite from LSU, Joe Burrow's target in college. I think the lack of special teams play there got him. But Mitchell Wilcox, he had a heck of a first down, 21-yard catch. So, and Trent Taylor, that was another one I thought was going to make this team. But Tom, any surprises that you saw?
Not really. As you look through the tea leaves, a little bit with Thaddeus Moss. I think he's a heck of a receiving tight end, and I thought he showed me something in his blocking game as well. Can't say that I watched the special teams close enough to know, but from everything we're reading, Wilcox was very clearly the leader there, and Darren Simmons has said for decades now he'll look at those guys and scream at him during practice, I determine who the last 10 to 15 guys on this roster are. And it looks like that's the case today with that. But not other than that, not a whole lot of surprises. We're going with 3 running backs, but I like the offensive line. I like the decisions and understand them. And certainly a big trade yesterday to energize us. So, no, but the only thing I'm worried about is getting Trey Waynes healthy.
Yeah. Well, guys, James is on in the waiting room right now. We're going to pull him on. And this guy has been working his ass off all day today. I don't think he slept last night, and he probably won't be sleeping tonight with all the stuff going on. But let's welcome to the show, Mr. James Rapien. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, fellas? How are we?
Hey, before we get going, James, we have to do a uniform check. Do you have pants on, yes or no? Don't stand up.
I don't like that.
Oh, no.
No, sure. That's a leg right there, man. That's as far as I'm going, but no, no pants on.
I just won $50.
Well, James, hey, man, we have been – I know I have, and thousands of other Bengal fans across the country and the nation and across the country and the world have been following you today. And, man, thanks for keeping us updated on everything. We got a lot of stuff we want to hit on. I know you have limited time here, man, but go through kind of your surprises and kind of give us your thoughts real quick. And I think each one of us has some things we want to throw out at you as well.
Yeah, I mean, from the jump, the first cut that really went public today was Michael Jordan. And look, a lot of people can say they weren't surprised about it, but you're talking about a guy 3 weeks ago that was the starting guard, the starting right guard on this team, and at the top of the depth chart for both of the Bengals' first 2 preseason games in Tampa and in Washington. So that to me was somewhat of a surprise. Now, again, over the past week and a half, has he moved back, and has it been clear that he's kind of the third string type guard? Yeah, I think so. But that would be one. The Mike Daniels one was unfortunate, the writing on the wall. After you start doing the numbers and you see, all right, well, they bring in B.J. Hill. It had to be someone. And, maybe they bring him back. I don't think so, but maybe, hopefully, because I like him. I like Mike a lot. I think he brings a lot to the team. But that was a little bit of a surprise. And then the Thad Moss move today. I think when Joe Burrow said what he said when I asked him about Moss on Sunday, me and virtually every other Bengals fan out there and an analyst and media member, everybody, we just assumed that it was going to be, Thad Moss as tight end 3. But really it's going to come down to special teams, and I didn't really see Moss flash as a special teamer. I think he has good hands. He's a good route runner, and he's reliable. Maybe that's good enough to get him back to the practice squad if he clears waivers. So those are some of the top ones. And I'm sure I'm missing 1 or 2. You're right. It's been a crazy day. Isaiah Prince actually might be the top of that list, him making the team. And I think it went hand in hand with Jordan there. The fact that Prince had a quality preseason. He showed that he could play both spots. He played left and right tackle the other day against Miami. So those are valuable reps that he's probably not going to get much of throughout this year unless something really goes wrong. But clearly he flashed to Frank Pollock, and Jordan was trending down. So that to me was the surprise. Not that, just Jordan being cut, but the fact that Prince made this team.
Right. I know Tom wanted to start off and talk about defensive line. So Tom, go ahead and let's run some of those things by James.
James, your thoughts on the trade yesterday, and they go hand in hand, as it's been said. The best pass defense comes with a good pass rush. The best pass rush comes with a good pass defense. How do you think up front they stack up as compared to a year ago? And what we saw in the preseason, the regular season is totally different. Are they going to be able to get after the quarterback?
Yeah, I think they're much better and in a better position than they were a year ago, mainly because of health more than anything. I mean, Geno was hurt by this stage a year ago, and we didn't really know if he was going to play week 1 or not. And there was we were talking about the streak, right, and all that stuff. And then obviously DJ Reader only played 5 games, so you hope he can stay healthy. But beyond that, you have a Larry Ogunjobi. You go get a BJ Hill. These guys should be entering their prime. And that part matters, I think, a lot. And that's why Mike Daniels, on the outside looking in today, Josh Tupou has flashed. I think he's going to certainly be part of that rotation. And one thing, when you talk to coaches and players in this organization, they feel like the trenches, they're more physical this year, that there's more of a nastiness to him. Trey Hendrickson certainly has it. Even a guy like Darius Hodge, right? He's got some of that in his game. We know what Sam Hubbard brings. But you see how I'm just rattling off guys that are going to contribute and that we're going to see. I still haven't gotten to Cam Sample yet. Certainly going to be someone that you see on the inside and on the edge as well. So I think they're deeper. I think they certainly are capable of getting after the passer, to answer your question, Tom. I like the trade yesterday because you basically gave up a backup for a guy who's might put up starter snaps for you at times this year. Certainly going to probably slide into that 5-tech role, be your backup 3-tech behind Larry Ogunjobi. So I like that move a lot. So ultimately, I think they're going to be able to get after the passer, certainly better personnel. And Lou Anarumo showed a little bit more as far as stunts and different, combinations, and it's just preseason. So I think that they're going to generate more of a pass rush this season for sure.
Staying on the defensive side, James, and thank you for joining us on this busy day, particularly looking at safety. We saw Jamal Adams get a big payday. Do you anticipate, 2 questions about the safety position? 1, Jesse Bates, anything getting done before the season? And or 2, how surprised were you with Mr. Henderson not making the team after the preseason he had?
He had a really good preseason, and I was actually talking to Ben Baby about this, and then my co-host on Locked On Bengals, Jake Lisco. The fact that Henderson, he flashes like that, and then you go back to your roster. And I went and I looked. I was like, all right, here's the 53. There's just no space. And Ricardo Allen was a lock. Brandon Wilson's one of the best kickoff returners in the game. So where are you going to go when you already have Jesse Bates and Von Bell? And it's unfortunate for Henderson, or maybe fortunate for Henderson, because he may get picked up here over the next, 16 hours or so, when NFL teams will start to find out who was claimed and who wasn't. So I think that he played well, certainly flashed. It just wasn't enough. And I think there is a gap between Allen, who was really the only one that Henderson could pass since Wilson's so valuable on special teams. And then as far as Jesse Bates' future, I think to me it's going to come down to guaranteed money, which a lot of these contracts do. Are the Bengals, are they willing to offer him what Jamal Adams got, a 4-year, $70 million deal? I don't think they're there yet. I really don't. They still have the franchise tag they can bank on and rely on next offseason. Me personally, I would be there because he's 24. He's younger than Joe Burrow. He's done everything right entering year 4 now. And to me, he could end up costing even more next offseason. But if I had to guess right now, I would say no, it doesn't get done. Because when I look at those Adams numbers, if I'm Jesse Bates, that's what I want. So 4 years, $70 million and, or $72 million, I think, with incentives, and $30+ million guaranteed. The only 2 players that have and are making $30 million in guaranteed dollars are Joe Burrow, because he's on a rookie contract, and all that money is guaranteed. It's around $36 million, and Jamar Chase just over $30 million. So I think the Bengals, they may say, all right, Jesse, we get it. You're really, really good, maybe even great. go out and prove it this year, and then we'll pay you like it next offseason.
Okay. Thank you.
So I know you hit a little bit on the tight ends, James, but I know Josh wanted to hit on that tight end group here with you as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. So thanks, James. Thanks for coming on. I know it's been a busy day. So we all know we got Drew Sample, we got CJ Uzomah, but you talked about Thaddeus Moss, great hands, the connection, but maybe there's a possibility about special teams play. So what can you tell us about Mitchell Wilcox, why he made the team? I know he makes a great 21-yard catch for a first down conversion in that last preseason game. What can you tell the viewers today about maybe why they kept him and let Thaddeus Moss go?
I think Mitchell Wilcox was a better college tight end than Thaddeus Moss. In fact, in college, Wilcox might have been the best tight end of all these guys, including Sample and Uzomah. Again, when you look at his college profile. Now, he went to USF, but he set a bunch of records there, went undrafted last year just like Moss did, and signed with the Bengals. But he's a pretty good athlete, moves really well. You saw it on that catch up the seam, like you mentioned. Has more size than a guy like Moss and did grade out better as a special teamer. I'm no special teams expert, but you look at Pro Football Focus, graded out better special team snaps wise. And I think that's what it came down to ultimately, because Moss has great hands. It might not be as dynamic of an athlete as Wilcox, but runs great routes, is reliable, certainly has the trust of number 9, which goes a long way. But to me, it comes down to special teams. And I think they looked at it as, all right, we're going to keep one of these guys because we need a third tight end, and it's Mitch Wilcox today. With that said, would not shock me one bit. 1, if Moss is back on the practice squad tomorrow, and 2, if Wilcox ultimately ends up on the practice squad, if they end up claiming one of these other tight ends, because there was a lot of different guys that were let go that the Bengals are going to evaluate, and their third tight end might not even be on this roster or on the, in the organization throughout training camp. So we'll see what happens there. But Wilcox is a good player, and there's certainly positives. And I thought he was kind of a diamond in the rough and under the radar type guy when they signed him as an undrafted free agent last year. And certainly they feel like that right now.
Yeah, interesting. Good feedback on that. So talk a little bit about the running back group, James. I mean, obviously they kept an extra receiver, one more than I thought they would, but the running back room there, that last spot that they kept.
Yeah, I mean, you move on from Patrick. Puka Williams, I think it was a foregone conclusion just because we didn't see a lot of him. But you were thinking maybe Patrick or Williams, they'd keep one of them, and specifically Patrick with what we've seen. But I think this is about Chris Evans. Chris Evans showed that he can be this dynamic pass catcher out of the backfield. He showed enough on special teams. We know what P. Ryan is in pass protection and as a special teamer. And they're not paying Joe Mixon, it didn't sign him to a 4-year, $48 million deal to sit on the bench anyway. So 3's enough. I think they're going to be able to sneak one of these guys onto the practice squad, whether it's Williams or Patrick. I would say one of 2. Maybe you get both and you get lucky. And if so, that's great. I also think Puka will probably be on the practice squad as well. But in all my projections, I had 3 running backs. I think it was the right decision, given how talented those guys are and given where the roster was in other spots. It's no knock on Patrick. I think he is an NFL running back. It's no knock on Travion Williams. I think he is too. And hopefully if you're the Bengals, you can sneak one, if not both, back onto the practice squad tomorrow.
Well, James, we'll just keep you for a short period of time more here. But our viewers right now, if you have any questions for James, go ahead and type them in. We'll throw them up here and have James answer them. It's been a great day keeping up with everything through James today. James, I think one of the great stories out of camp here, and again, the kid who came out of nowhere here for Marshall, the Darius Hodge kid, was just an absolute thrill to watch play. Bust his ass every play. I went down to mini practices down there. He was start to finish every practice, every scrimmage, every preseason game. Is this a shocker to you before the season started when you saw him being picked up? Do you think he was going to make the roster?
No. And honestly, I don't know if he would have made the roster if Joseph Osai had stayed healthy, even with the preseason he had. But, that's how it works. And now Hodge has been given this opportunity. And like you said, it looks like he's going to try to make the most of it, which is what you want out of someone like that. And it's really what the Bengals need. Like and Zach talked about it today, Zach Taylor, they've hit on these undrafted free agents over the years. And as bad as the pass rush has been in the edge position has kind of like been in this transition mode where they're not generating enough, they need to hit on one of these undrafted guys. They're due. And if Hodge can be that guy, what a boost it gives you after losing Osai. I still think they're in the edge market, and they're scouring the wire now and looking through waivers to see if they can find someone else. But a guy like Hodge, man, just use him in some packages. He doesn't need to be in there on rush downs, and give him 10 to 15 snaps and just let him go all out and hit the quarterback. You saw his motor. He played a ton of snaps against Miami. And, by the end of that, he was probably pretty winded. That's not how he's going to be used in the regular season. You get him in there when you really need a stop, where you really need to apply some pressure. And he's proven time and time again that he can get it done. And he did it against some starters. So hopefully that continues and he can give them that kind of presence, which, again, was a really unforeseen thing that I did not see coming when we were coming into training camp for sure.
Yeah. Tom, I think you had a question.
James, you watch everybody all throughout the league, and the names and so forth are always well versed. Of who was released today from the other 31 teams, did you look at a name and say, this would be of interest? This guy can clearly help. They're fifth on the list for claims. Do you see anybody that they may be reaching out to, thinking about, or free agents that are not waived that they can't claim that we may be looking for tomorrow?
For sure, yeah. And I'm going to come out with a list at allbengals.com. I'm still doing a little bit more research to have an official list, but I'll give you a couple names. Tyrell Crosby is a guy that was released yesterday. I think you kick the tires on him. He's more of a swing tackle type guy, and that might mean Isaiah Prince. His stay on the 53 is short-lived, so it really depends on how you feel about Prince. Or it could be one of these other guys, right? He's 7 receivers. And instead you go with a guy like Crosby, who can also play tackle. I was talking to some people up in Detroit, and he's played both right and left tackle, and can play guard, as well. So that versatility is something Frank Pollock might like. And then I know wide receiver, they've kept 7, and people just assume receiver isn't an issue. But Tyron Johnson got released by the Chargers today. He averaged nearly 20 yards a catch last year, almost 400 yards. He's 25 years old. A former undrafted free agent, had 3 touchdowns. Look, how many times have we heard the Bengals, their coaching staff say they needed more explosive plays? Well, he seems like a guy with the 5th waiver priority that I would put a claim in, and you figure it out if you're able to get him onto the roster. So that's one that and look up his highlights if you're watching. Just look him up on Twitter or whatever. I mean, he's a burner, and he's someone that if T. Higgins gets nicked up, or Jamar Chase gets nicked up, or, even Auden Tate gets nicked up, that can come in there and give you legitimate snaps and, make some plays for you. So those are 2 guys that I would keep an eye on, and I'll have a more comprehensive list later tonight.
Yeah, we're going to just take a few questions from some of our viewers right now.
Sure.
And this is a legitimate question here. AJ Arnett's from upstate New York is asking, is there any worry about starting slow for our offense in week 1? Joe Burrow only being out there for 3 snaps, basically. So your thoughts around that?
Absolutely. It's a big worry for those that want to see the Bengals beat Mike Zimmer and that Vikings defense, which is going to be tough in and of itself, because I think Zimmer and that entire unit has a chip on its shoulder because they got kicked around a bit last year, and we know Mike doesn't like that. And so – yeah, I would have played Burrow more on Sunday. I almost said last week, but 2 days ago. 3 snaps. I know that was the plan the whole time, and I believe that, and it was a scripted play. No way would I have done that. I would have given him 2 to 3 series. I would have let him work out the kinks. Jamar would have gotten multiple targets. I get not playing T because his back was tight. That's fine. Hey, Auden, go up and catch this ball from Burrow. And the same thing goes for Tyler Boyd. Now, it's splitting hairs a little bit. How many snaps did Joe really need? I'm not sure, but I would have given him a couple more series, much like the Bengals did with Carson in 06 when he was coming back. But they didn't. And so we'll see week 1 how sharp they can be, because let's be honest, guys, you look at that schedule, the first month of the season, they need to make some hay because the back end is pretty tough. So they need to get off to a good start.
Another question, James. This is from Robert Monroe. What do you think of Frank's job with the O-line so far? And I'm going to add to that question. We know Frank was brought in as O-line director coordinator in charge, but also as run game coordinator. Can we expect a lot more running the ball, which I think will in turn lead to protecting Joe more with the threat of a solid running game?
I certainly hope so. I hope that last year was kind of an outlier with how much Zach, in Brian threw it. And I think it was. When you talk to them, when you talk to people around the organization, it was simply, look at what the offensive line's doing. This is how we have to win games. And they didn't say it like that, but I'll say it like that. and so, yeah, when it comes to Frank, can you have competent offensive line play? And I think you're seeing flashes of that already. You're seeing these guys grow. How much has Deontay Smith grown? I thought he was a project, not really a prospect, a project this year that was going to not play a snap and not threaten for any starting job. And yeah, I thought he was going to make the team and be like the third tackle, right? Or almost like the Isaiah Prince, where we have zero expectations for him and he made the team today on August 31st. And instead, heck, he may be starting at guard here over the next few weeks. Wouldn't be shocked at all if that's the case. And I think that's what Frank's gotten out of these guys is, are they going to be the best? Are they the most talented? Are they the most gifted offensive line? No, but they're working together. And when you look at it, they didn't give up a sack. The one sack they gave up was a bad snap when the offensive line wasn't ready. And so this preseason. So I think they're better, which is a welcome sight. And yeah, I do think that they need to get Mixon involved. Again, you're not paying Joe Mixon to pass block only. You need him to run the ball, and you need to get him involved. And even on his run Sunday, he showed what he could do with his cutbacks and stuff. So this should be the year of 28 for sure.
Yeah. So James, what's interesting, I think the practice squad now has expanded to 16 players, right?
It is. Yep.
So we've got a bunch of similar questions in here. I'll just kind of pull up Ava. Ava's asking, I think you hit it on this a little bit earlier, but there's a bunch of questions in here. There's a possibility Mike Daniels could get is that a possibility Mike Daniels being put on a practice squad?
It is, yeah. So the practice squad rules are very flexible now. And so that's certainly a possibility. He's a vested veteran too, so he's not going through the waiver process. So let me give you a scenario where they could do that. Let's say Khalid Kareem, and I hope this isn't the case, but let's say Khalid Kareem is dealing with, because he got nicked up on Sunday. We don't really know what's going on, but let's say they need to put him on IR, which is 3 weeks. Well, you could put Daniels on the practice squad for a few days, put Kareem on IR, kind of weigh out everything that's going on and who you're claiming, who you're not. Do you bring in a guy? Do you not? And then if you still have that extra spot, then you just promote Daniels and fill that practice squad spot. So there are ways to do that. I don't think that the door is completely slammed shut on Mike Daniels being in Cincinnati, but if I'm a contender and I see Mike Daniels, I think he's still got a little something left. So we'll see if any of these other teams are making a move to get him.
Got it. Well, James, I know we're right at our time, but there's just 2 quick things I want to run by you.
It's fine. You're good.
We're going to give you some breaking news, if I can find it here.
Oh.
So just want to let you know, everybody, this is breaking news right now. We got the scoop on James Rapien. The Cleveland Browns have just picked up Bobby Hart. He's now their starting right tackle. So just let you know.
You got me actually looking to see if.
No.
Hey, I knew he wasn't starting, but you never know. I mean,
yeah. You never know.
Hey, he was released today. Do you think Cincinnati wants him back?
No.
No, James. It'll be a riot.
I didn't say I wanted him back. I asked a question. That's all.
All right, then the last one. We know we got a hell of a kicker here in Evan McPherson. This kid has just got a cannon for a leg. I'm pretty excited about, this guy being a kicker for us for the next 10 to 15 years. This guy is something special. But we might need a backup kicker, man. We're kind of thinking maybe we get Fat Randy back in the fold because I know he just got let go today as well.
Hey, he might have some calf stretches for us to do to make sure that we're all right. Look, but hey, you're right.
Pick the right leg.
What a 180 though from Randy Bullock to Evan McPherson. And I'm not trying to be mean to Randy. He's a nice guy by all accounts, but man, I mean, this young, exciting dude that can kick from the logo. I mean, yeah. Steph Curry can shoot from the logo. Evan McPherson can kick from the logo. That's a pretty good. Everyone was debating that 5th round pick. It's a pretty damn good pick. It looks like if he's going to do that. What a weapon! I mean, you could always be in field goal range with that guy.
And that kick Sunday at the game, James, that was probably good from 65. I mean, he hit the net on that, the bottom part of the net on that damn thing. So I'm excited about it. That's for sure. So
yeah, no doubt. He's going to set a couple records this year, I think, as a rookie.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Well, James, we'll let you go. I know we're a little bit over time, man. Hey, look. So just one last thing. So the next 24 hours, is it really the next 24 hours is kind of a critical thing to kind of watch some moving pieces on this as well, which I think you said.
For sure, yeah. So teams will start to find out who claimed, who cleared waivers, all that stuff, who was claimed around noon tomorrow. And so by 1 o'clock, they'll have a really good idea. And the news will start to come out around noon. And by 1, they'll have a good idea. Hopefully, shortly after that, I have the news and can pass it along. So I would expect a lot of the Bengals practice squad or cuts that they want on the practice squad. A lot of those guys will probably make it to the practice squad, but there are going to be some new faces, and I would not be shocked at all if they claim a player or two here, because there is some talent out there. And just to give you guys some positions, depending on Trey Waynes, they could look at corner. We don't know how long Waynes is going to be out with that hamstring. If it's 3 weeks, that's IR in this day and age. Defensive end could certainly be something they look at. Linebacker, probably not, but I wouldn't rule it out. Wide receiver and offensive line. So just some positions I think that they could be really evaluating. And then one more, practice squad quarterback. Is it Kyle Shermer? Is it not? That'll be a question too.
Well, we know who James wants to be on the practice squad.
Yeah, can we get Eric Dungy back instead of Shermer? But I digress. Anyways,
he's a Syracuse guy, James. It's just he's looking through that Syracuse orange glasses right now.
I mean, did they even let Dungy throw it against Washington? I mean, let him throw it.
Hey, James,
I know.
He was evidently he was so bad they didn't even let him throw in practice. I don't even know what's going on.
Stop it.
Well, bro, we appreciate it, man. Hey, look, man, we will. If everybody that's watching right now, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, make sure you follow James. He's got a YouTube page. It's just outstanding to follow. All the updates are on there and other social media platforms. I keep up with him on Twitter. James, keep doing a great job, man. We love what you're doing, man. Thanks for everything, man. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Keep up the good work, and I can't wait to join you guys again soon.
We'll see you, buddy. Who dat?
See you soon, James.
Thanks, James.
Take care.
All righty, we covered a lot there in a short amount of time.
Something unique about him is in this market. This is not bad mouthing anybody else that covers the Bengals, other than Dan Horde and Dave Lapham. He's got so much knowledge inside and out of this organization, so much enthusiasm, and is completely objective. He's not sadistic. He's not rooting for him to lose. If anything, he's the old scribe that, hey, the more they win, the more I get to cover them. And he's exceptional. I hope this market keeps him and this team can keep him for a very long time. Big benefit to us fans.
Yeah. Yep. It is good to have Jamie on. We knew Jamie would be coming on a little late today. We appreciate you making it, but I know you had some traffic there in the Brantford area to get home.
Sorry, guys.
Rush hour in downtown Brantford.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, let's kind of, we got a lot of stuff to go over here, guys, and again, stay with us because there's a lot of good stuff we still have to hit on here today. So a couple things today. We do want to say thank you to everybody at Who Dey Nation. We appreciate you guys following us and keeping up with us. And if you're not following their Facebook page, make sure you follow them. Over 20,000 follows on there. So good stuff. Good stuff there. Also, I'm trying to think what else to hit on. Hey, James, talk about keep it or cut it. What are you talking about doing?
Yeah, we'll get to that. The one I'm going to get to something more important than that. Well, it's not. But kudos to the. I want to mention this early. Kudos to the Bengals. Those that maybe missed the game or weren't there. How about this this new entrance that they built where the players run out? Many of us had the opportunity to go a lot of different stadiums and see cool stuff. And, the Bengals just had some little fireworks there on the side, but invested in this, which I think is cool. I don't have a video of it. I would have liked to shown it, but smoke comes out of those tigers' mouths, and I think the other one shoots fire. And just a really cool, addition to the game day experience. In addition, our buddy JB had a chance to run up there and get our picture with him before, but the ruler of the jungle, and he got the first nod to do that, which is pretty special. And another nice addition. We had the gentleman on from Kansas City that's now in charge of that game day experience, and he mentioned a lot of changes that would happen. And those are two decent sized ones that have certainly enhanced the game day experience. I don't think they showed their hand in the one preseason game. I think we'll see a lot more, especially that night game for Jacksonville. But kudos to the Bengals and their staff for what they've done for a lot of new things as we enter the 2021 season.
So, James, just to add on that, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of inside scoop, the tunnel that the Bengals run of the tiger gargoyles that are spewing smoke everywhere, that's not the whole experience. So wait till opening day. So just wait. There's a lot more stuff going to go on with that entrance for the players that day. So, and the ruler of the jungle, they're kind of working out some kinks with that, but just wait till opening day. It was preseason for everybody there, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Going through some of that stuff.
And again, I think they picked a great one. For those that don't know JB's history, I think we've shared the video the NFL Films did a couple of years back that Jimmy, you were a part of. So pretty cool, pretty special. JB's been around for a while, so for him to get that honor as the first ruler of the jungle was a pretty cool gesture on their part.
Yeah. So we're going to hit a couple other things around the NFL. So if you guys remember Jake Kumaro, I think they got him out of like Wisconsin, Green Bay or something like that. Played for the Bengals, then went played for the Packers, I think. He was just cut by the Bills today as well, which is kind of some former Cincinnati Bengals. And then we know about our guy, Cam Newton, right? Was just let go today. And I'm going to try to find this video here. I'm going to do my best. But if you guys remember that old NFL Play 360 video with the kids talking to Cam about taking a starting position, watch this video. I was crying laughing about this. So hopefully this video comes through for you here. Here you go.
Hey, Cam, thanks a lot for coming to my school today.
No problem, Nate.
I promise to exercise and eat right.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
And I'll grow up to be big and strong like you.
Absolutely.
And play in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
And be drafted #1.
Maybe.
And become the starting quarterback of the Panthers.
Okay.
You can be my backup.
Excuse me?
And make Panthers fans forget about you. And become your mom's favorite player.
Whoa.
Tell me that's not a social media good and bad. That is freaking hilarious. That is the funniest thing I saw all day today.
That was good.
Good old Mac Jones face imposed on that little kid.
That was good.
That's funny. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to create any controversy. I was reading some headlines today that there's speculation he was cut because he refused to get the COVID vaccine. So I'm curious to see if that comes out in a couple of days as one of the reasons. Because with the COVID restrictions this year, if your team goes out because of it, you take the L, you don't get paid.
I think you've got a great point, Jamie, but not just getting cut, but will that hinder him catching on somewhere? I mean, if a starter gets hurt in 2 weeks, are they going to hesitate before picking up the phone? Hey, this guy won't get the shot. Do we have a potential problem here?
Yeah,
it's a good question.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. It just divides people. I don't want to divide anybody, but yeah, I'm just curious to see if that comes out. If that you're going to see that play into some personnel decisions, especially on the waiver wire with these guys. If that's going to be one of the questions you're going to ask guys, if you don't have the shot, will you get the shot?
Yeah,
I want to impact the team, right?
Yeah, good point.
We did, as many people know, we did a special Saturday night show this past Saturday from our buddy Dells at 16 Lots. And thank you for Josh and our buddy Hollis for all the legwork they did and putting that great event together. Great food, great beer, and some great items on display. We want to thank everybody that stopped by and brought items. I'm not going to steal your thunder, Josh. I'm going to go ahead and talk about kind of recap that event, if you would, and then we'll talk about the charity side after you're done talking about the memorabilia side.
Yeah, I won't lie. I won't say that it didn't go down without a hitch, but I think that the live audience was hot, man. It was a live party. Like I said, I wish you guys could have made it out. It was a really good time. I've had a lot of really positive feedback with it. I still haven't had a chance to watch the online show, but, man, I saw some great items. As I said, my joke on the show, it really wasn't a joke. I was being truthful, but it came across as a joke. James, you asked me, what's your favorite item you've seen here tonight? And I said, well, my beautiful wife is sitting to my left, but I can't take my eyes off this game-worn Ken Anderson Doreen jersey sitting immediately to my right. I mean, some of the stuff that people brought in was amazing. I know that Chris Cookie Girl Wells brought in the Ring of Honor poster with the which is a cool story. If you haven't seen the show, it had 5 people on it, but 4 of them were the actual people that the Bengals put into the Ring of Honor this year. Now, that poster came out over a decade ago. So it's like you could already see that, like, those 4 guys that made it are like the Mount Rushmore of the Cincinnati Bengals. No one was surprised. I think that they hit it right on the head. We're super excited for September 30th and who they're putting in. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Back to the show. Also, great letter from the Stein guy that brought it in about Ken Anderson, and showed his humility about trying to make, the team, the coach. I mean, I was in awe of some of the items I saw. Some of them, as you know, I'm a huge collector, have never seen before. I believe we raised, Jimmy, what was the total on that?
Actually, I'm going to pop it up here, guys. I'll be honest. We were hoping we could hit 1,000. It was $1,782, Josh, that night. That total, along with everything else that everybody that's watching the show has been doing. I'm just amazed at the generosity with the Bengal fans. But we're over $16,000, and it was almost $1,800 that you guys raised Saturday night at 16 Lots for Fulcher's charity, which focuses on MS. And he told a great story. He sat there with us forever talking about different stories about his Bengal stuff and the charity that he's working with, how it affected his wife and all these things. So outstanding night, just an outstanding, like Josh said, I think the event there in person went off without a hitch. Maybe the online version maybe wasn't as clean as we'd wish it would have been, but whatever. We're playing around. We're going to do it no matter what. We'll work out the bugs next time we do it, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hope to do it next year. And sorry, Jay, I'll let you go in 1 second, but I did have some people inbox me on Facebook. Sorry, I couldn't make it, but heard this, heard that. There are a ton of people that were pumped about what they heard about it, and we're going to do it again next year. I think we'll have an even bigger, better show for you guys next year, and we're super excited about it.
Yeah, and it was, thank you to David for coming out. He actually brought his family out, and we had an opportunity to do a Q&A towards the end of the evening, and just a great gentleman, answered every question, and just a great Bengal, from everything from Super Bowl questions to who he admired the most, to the current team. He answered them all and signed autographs, and it was just a really, really fun night. And as Josh said, we'll do it again and make the second one even bigger and better. And if you missed this one, you can go back and watch the show, or plan on being there for round 2. And again, thank you to Dell and 16 Lots for their hospitality and hosting us. Great venue, people inside, outside, all around, and just a really fun night.
And it was packed. It was absolutely packed in there. It was a bigger crowd than we even expected. That was great. So just kind of ties into the next thing we want to talk about. And Josh, this is your subject here as well. I want to pop up a picture here for Josh. Josh has been working his butt off on this thing across the board. But Josh, talk about a little bit about your new bobblehead here that you've.
That looks so good, Josh. That looks so good.
I appreciate it, guys. I wish I could explain in words the amount of work that's gone into this. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you guys can't even comprehend. But it started as me wanting to do something for the fans, for charity, and we've pulled it off. We've started a moniker gimmicky company, I guess, Cincy Bobs. It's us. It's by fans, and we're doing it for you fans. We have produced a Ring of Honor Anthony Munoz bobblehead. It's produced through FOCO, who we've all heard of. I've shouted them out many times. I've shown a lot of their great products. That bobblehead is of Anthony Munoz. It is limited to 288. It will be released in December of this year. It is going to be $50 for one of those. If you'd like to get one, email at cincybobs@yahoo.com. Just leave a name and a number how we can contact you. But we are going to give money to the Anthony Munoz Foundation. And we are also going to take the other side of the money and keep producing great bobbleheads that we hope to put out in the near future. So I've had a ton of people reach out. I'm so appreciative of the support of everyone that's contacted me. Like I said, there's 288. I think almost 120 to 140 of those are already spoken for, and we've only shown it twice. So by the time we do it at some events or do it at some tailgates, they're going to go fast. So we do appreciate everyone reaching out. And I can tell you already that I have with my representative from FOCO, the next one up will be Ken Riley. It is coming, and we need to keep that motion going. So to split away from Cincy Bob's, we need to keep the love going for Ken Riley for the 2022 push, and hopefully a Jungle to the Hall too. I can't promise that, but I'd love to do it. So,
yep. So Josh, man, we appreciate this. This is so talk to people about when you're a collector, and you said it was 288 of these that are going to be made.
Correct.
So as a collector, when you're in on the ground floor getting 288, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, the value of those things shoot through the roof, right? Because of the limited quantities that are made.
Absolutely. And I can attest that there won't be future Anthony Munoz bobbleheads. There may. But for those of you that do collect, he's never really had a produced bobblehead. If you Google it, there's the prototype picture that's online that Dave Slivey made, but it never really took off through Provident Bank. And I also know that the Florence Freedom minor league baseball team did the mini one with Ken Anderson. But, I mean, it's literally like this big. And a lot of people – I won't say a lot of people, but I had like 5 people reach out and say, hey, you've shown a lot of bobbleheads. Can you show the Anthony Munoz bobblehead? And I'm thinking, there isn't one, which is a shame. You know, I'm a big collector. So I was like, hey, why not get up with them and see what we can do about getting an Anthony Munoz bobblehead produced? It was just something kind of for fun. But a lot of people have reached out and they're like, hey, you're doing that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? So now it's kind of like grown into like a small charity-based company that I hope to produce. And as I said, it's if you read the ticket, by fans, for fans. So we're hoping to get a lot of great products coming up in the future for fans and give a lot of money to charity. So it'll be a fun experiment for everybody.
Hey, Josh, I'm going to put some money in. I would like to pay for a bobblehead of James with his mullet. We would love a bobblehead with his mullet kind of floating around.
We're going to either cut it or keep it. That's going to be a fundraiser here. If everybody says cut it, we'll cut it the Thursday night game. If more money is raised for keep it, I'll keep it through the end of the year. So stay tuned. That was a good segue. Cut it. We'll cut it the Thursday night game. Keep it. I'll keep it through the rest of the year, and we'll see how much money we can raise for a charity that we'll announce next week.
Nobody's going to say keep it. I want to see that damn thing cut at a tailgate. We'll do a poll. We're going to do an online poll for this once we figure out
fundraiser. They're going to have to donate. Yeah, they're going to have to donate money.
What
whatever
tailgate?
it is.
Home opener or the
Thursday night. Ring of Honor.
November 30th.
We're going to be busy that Thursday
I'll
night.
cut it.
If I cut it, we'll just paste it to Jamie's head.
I was asking James if we could do like focus on locks for love, but there's not enough hair to make that happen. But that's funny stuff. So
speaking of tailgate, we had a couple of special guests that stopped by, and I'll pop the picture up and you can talk about it, Jimmy.
Yeah. So Troy was walking over to see the new jungle area where they had been in previous years, had been on the plaza level. They moved it over to the Music Icon venue over there. So he had to come over and say hi to us. So he stopped by and said hi to James and I he wasn't there, but maybe 5 minutes, but he had to come by. And his thing goes, he goes, you guys throw one hell of a party. We can hear and see you guys from the stadium. This is awesome. Keep it up. So we had a really big crowd for the tailgate. I was kind of shocked for a preseason tailgate where we had 45 minutes of a monsoon rain, and then it was 200 degrees. It was a weird day, but we had an absolute blast. We also had another guest. We had that right there is T. Higgins' mom and dad. And let me tell you guys, they had a blast. And I appreciate, really want to thank Chris, Cookie Lady, for bringing them down. She was just kind of showing around to some different tailgates. I think they're going to be back, James, because they liked my music. I'm just saying. They didn't like the country stuff you had on. But
I didn't even play any, but you're another segue. We've T's dad, Eric, we've negotiated a lucrative contract where we'll give him all the 16 lots he needs if he'll tailgate. So I think getting James out of the way, rule number one, which is great. I can sit to the side and smoke cigars with Craig. But Eric, we did a little conversation, and Eric does DJing as a hobby, and he's committed to come up and do a DJ a tailgate for us this year. So we'll announce that as we get the dates firmed up. But great having them, and it was a fun day. As I said, it was hot, rainy. I shouldn't say hot. It was like the desert there. It was a warm one, but we had the 16 lots to keep us cool and expect 5 times as many people for the home opener in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, and no matter what music you like, believe me, between James and I, we got it all for you. Don't worry about it. We take care of you. A couple other things to hit on here real quick as well. I just want to give everybody an update. Christy Wood, I talked about a couple shows ago, if you remember, our friends from Toledo, a big group of them come down every single year. She just had a double mastectomy, breast cancer. She is doing great. I just talked to Chuck, her husband, here about half an hour before the show started. She's doing outstanding. Keep her in your mind. Keep her in your prayers. They're very excited. She has now been officially labeled cancer-free. No chemo, no radiation therapy, nothing. So she's not out of the woods, but let's keep her in our prayers and our thoughts. That's just it's just good to hear some good news about some of this stuff with all the bad news in the world. So that's good to see. I'm trying to figure out what else am I missing here. I know there's a couple. Hey, real quick, I know there was something. I know a lot of people are collectors of different things, and there's going to be a new pop that comes out here in October. There's a Joe Burrow pop. I don't know the exact date. Josh, did we have the date on that? I knew it was October. I didn't see the exact date in October.
No, buddy, I sure don't. I don't. Okay. It's coming though, and it's a really cool piece. They're like going into action poses now. So
yep,
look out for that one.
Yeah, pretty cool. Geez, I know I'm missing some. Okay, I know, and I did not get a picture of this, and maybe James or Jamie can find one before I can. But if you remember, I think it was 2 shows ago or last show, we raised money for the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Fund. We raised $1,000. Unbelievable. We did that like 4 days. You guys did that in 4 days. It was unbelievable. Well, the winner not only won a signed Jamar Chase mini helmet that they'll get when they come in town. I think they're coming in town one of the games early in the year. But also on top of it, they got the design, come up with the slogan or what was being said on the banner on the east side of Paul Brown Stadium. So Addie talked to Jeff, the banner guy, and I don't have the sign, but
I'm pulling it up here. Give me a couple of minutes.
We'll keep talking. So Jeff, the banner guy, basically painted.
I have it if you want.
Yeah, pull it up. How cool is this? I mean, I thought he was going to put Addie's name on it real small in the corner, right-hand corner of it, but the banner just hit it. It was all over the Jumbotron that day. I know it made at some point during the game. I know somebody was sending me text pictures of their screen. Hawlikins 2023 love Addie. How cool is that? So he hung that. He made that banner Friday and Saturday, and then took it down and put it up and took a picture and sent it over to us. So not only does she get that Jamar Chase signed mini helmet, but that picture is going to be there forever. That picture that we just showed there. That's a really cool thing.
Yep, very cool. And he stopped by and saw us on Saturday as well.
Yep.
There was also Chris mentions this, Jimmy. I saw the photo on the Facebook page, but
yeah. So we had. So remember, I told everybody this tailgate. It wasn't a big blowout tailgate. It's preseason, so we had people come in from Japan. I couldn't believe it. It was a husband and wife, and I don't know what maybe a brother or something like that that came in. They had the best time ever. They loved it. It's the first tailgate they've ever been to. They're coming back opening day for the opening day. So I think they're in town on some business. There it is. I tell you what, they were smiles ear to ear. And when she found out that was T. Higgins' mom and dad, she immediately made a beeline through the crowd, pushing people out of the way to get T. Higgins' mom and dad. She was so excited. And I didn't bring any pins for the map, but I put the map out. If everybody knows the map, we've got this huge map of the world in the United States, and you put a pin wherever you come in town from. And I think we're up to, 42 states, 22 countries, something of that nature. I didn't expect so many people to be in front of Japan, and I did get a video. We had some people in from Wisconsin, a father-son. Young father, was a huge Bengals fan. His son was a Miami fan. So he takes his kid, I guess the radius, 6 to 8 hour radius, to take him out of town, spend time with the kid. And they chose the Cincinnati Bengals Miami Dolphins preseason game. And they follow us on our social media platforms, but they were so excited. They got to drop a pin. And I did take a video of that and post that on all of our social media platforms. So I did spend some time this afternoon, late in the afternoon. We're expanding that map. I got flags from, I think, 20 countries that I was able to buy at a local flag place. So that is going to be, again, another prominent go-to spot when you come to the tailgate as well. So that map that James and I did and everybody at the tailgate, we didn't realize how big of a deal that thing was going to be. We just wanted to kind of see where people were coming in town from. And that's kind of been a focal point. People come in there and they want to put a pin. They want to drop a pin in the map where they're from.
Yeah, it's cool just to look at. If you have an opportunity to stop by, just go look at that and see diversity of the places far and near that everybody comes from. It's neat, and if you haven't had the opportunity to drop a pin and your place isn't represented, please stop by and do so. We'd love for you to add to it.
Jimmy, a big question Saturday night, and I've also been getting it going in Just Brew, Ken Anderson Alliance's coffee shop, Kenny Anderson's coffee shop in Silverton, Kenwood area. And everybody keeps asking, when does the beer come out and where can I get it?
Yep. So September 5th is the official drop date. September 5th. Right now, they're still forming. I know they've talked to a lot of different places. I know it will be at the Holy Grail. It's going to be at the Party Source over in Kentucky, which is a really big deal. I know it's going to be at a bunch of other places, but the easy place to get it, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is going to 16 Lot up in Mason. Or coming to the tailgate on September 12th, we are going to have a boatload of Ken Anderson's day drinking lagers that Dell Hall and Mike and those guys put together. Kenny will be at that tailgate, and he's promised to do a toast at that tailgate with his beer. So that's going to be a very special day. That is going to be a very special day for sure.
Yep.
So, guys, let's go ahead and close it out, man. We're kind of like right on time. James Rapien. Hey, it is kind of funny. Jamie wasn't here to start the show. Now we're on time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hand in hand.
It feels like a really short show to me.
We'll let Jamie, since he was the last on, we'll let him go first here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm glad that we're just getting closer. So, I mean, for me, the only thing I want to talk about is I'm going to miss the home opener. Unfortunately, I was really hoping to get down there for the home opener, but I'm working through all the paperwork up here to be able to come down for the Ring of Honor game. I really, really do not want to miss that game. So, fingers crossed, everything works out.
Yeah. Good luck, buddy.
All right. I guess I'll go. I'll go next. We'll just go across and then down. Thanks to everybody that came out to both events this weekend. Saturday at 16 Lots. Thank you for David Fulcher for joining us. Thank you for Dell for hosting us. And we got kind of a week to catch our breath, and then it's game on for 17 weeks. So look forward to the start of the season. Again, kudos to the Bengals and the changes they've made thus far, and look forward to seeing the other changes that they made to the game day experience. Like what's happened thus far in cuts, the two linemen that we've shipped out, obviously we know was a need. We need to protect Joe at all costs. So I think we'll see an improvement there. We saw an improvement in the preseason with just one sack and ready to get the season started. So as always, thanks everybody that joins us either at the tailgate, watching the show, or donates. We appreciate everything you do, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Tom?
Excited to see everybody Saturday night. It's always great to see football, and it's always great to see Bengals fans so enthused, so fired up, and a hardcore group ready for the next game every week. So I think a lot of optimism. A lot of people are fired up, and they should be. It was great to get back down to the stadium and see my Bengal family in section 126. Everybody's always talking about 158, but it really happens in the north end zone. But I'm ready to go. Wish we had Trey Wayans, but we'll get the roster set, get everybody as healed as we can, get Joe Burrow's timing down, Jamar Chase looking the ball into his chest, then let's go beat the Vikings. So I can't wait. Jackpot, Josh.
Jackpot. I'm excited for Evan McPherson, man. I can't tell you how many games I've watched where at some point we have to go back to, we wouldn't have missed that kick in the third, or this, was the difference between winning and losing. Evan McPherson, I'm excited, man. I've seen some, what a preseason. Oh, real quick, a quick apology to AJ in New York. He hit me up about being in the Rough Riders video. I told him I would do it, and I've been coaching, and it slipped my mind. I saw that thing. It is so hilarious. We hope to drop that soon. The great video. I'm sorry, AJ, I couldn't be a part of it. Once again, Cincy Bob's. And we have a Facebook page. Please check that out. We have Anthony Munoz bobblehead coming out, and happy to announce tonight we're going to do Ken Riley, hopefully in December as well. Vote for Ken Riley. Vote for Ken Anderson. Make some noise for those guys next year. And my final closing thought is we look like a tight-knit group of guys on screen, but I have never attended a Bengal gym tailgate. Jimmy and I met earlier this year and became close. So September 12th, opening day, will be my first one, and I will be sampling the Ken Anderson Day Drinking Delight and hanging out with my guys for the first time ever. So we hope to make some noise, and I'm super excited about it. Jimmy, close this out.
Brother, you're in for a treat. Let me tell you, we've got some – James and I and everybody else, we have got some big plans this year, man. It's going to be a blast for sure. I know one thing I had on my list here, James. You okay talking about the draft? We have our draft, when is it, September 2nd?
Yeah, it's actually Thursday night, so let the trash talking begin. We want to thank everybody. Basically everybody that's part of the league is either a listener or part of the show. So as we alluded to when we were looking for members, 100% of the proceeds go to the Javonte Woods Foundation, which we know is Icky's son, who died tragically of an asthma-related issue. So 100% of the proceeds go to that. The winner's going to get a signed Icky Woods jersey, and now we'll have the opportunity to talk trash all year. We'll have the stats updated, and we'll see if Jimmy will finish last, where those in Vegas have predicted him to be at the bottom of the barrel.
I'm going to shock the world this year. I'm telling you, I'm going to shock the world. And I think I want to reiterate. I think it's at $700, James, that just is going to go to the Javonte Woods Foundation.
Yep.
I want to be very clear. The way we structure stuff, 100% of every dollar that comes through these charities that we put in front of you goes directly to the charity. We're not buying Jamie, like hair formulas to grow hair or anything like that. We are 100% to the
charity. Guys, I'm bringing a bunch of toonies and loonies with me too.
Oh Lord. Hey, next Tuesday is our last show before the season starts, guys. Our last show, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, guys. I've been working for the past 2 months to try to get one giant special guest for this day. Hasn't been confirmed, but there's going to be somebody big time on the show here next week. So keep an eye on social media. We'll be posting that here shortly. Again, to reiterate what James said, 16 lots, David Fulcher, Josh, Tom, everybody that showed up and everybody that participated and worked their butts off on that. What a great night that was. That was a lot of fun. So thanks everybody for being part of this. Houday Nation is just outstanding. And then I want to make one comment about the offensive line. I know that's something we didn't really dig into a ton of detail on when James is on, but I like the direction we're going for a couple different reasons. One, Frank Pollock is key to me. Very respected. People trusting. The players are buying what he's selling. You hear this all the time. The two guys that are no longer with us, Billy Price and Michael Jordan. They did show improvement this year in preseason, but I think Paul Dehner Jr. might have said this. I might be attributing this comment to somebody else, to him incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure it was Paul Dehner Jr. saying today on the radio show that I was listening to that those guys did improve, but when they missed bad. And we can't have that with Joe Burrow under center, man. So we hope Billy Price and Michael Jordan have a great career, but it was time. It was time to move on from those guys. So I'm excited about the season, excited about the roster. As you heard James Rapien saying, there's going to be a few more changes to this thing. Let's see who else is out there, guys. There might be a diamond in the rough, some cap casualties, some other stuff going on here that we might be able to pick up and take care of some other positions with some depth as well. Excited about a special year, guys. We will see everybody next Tuesday. Keep an eye out on social media. Thanks again for viewing, guys. We love you guys. Hoo day.
Hoo day.
Good day.